MUFG, let's go. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect. Hello and welcome to Journeymen, another rugby league podcast. Today, a current player, a former Blues halfback, a former Blues hardman, and Latsy. It's going to be a great episode. Thanks for joining us. Just a reminder, I like to do this at the top of the show. Please like and subscribe. If you like and subscribe, we survive. So it's Journeyman_footy. That's on YouTube, Instagram, X, I think, TikTok, all those places. Follow us, tell your friends, tell your family. Keep the dream alive for all of us. We have a cracking episode in store. We're going to be talking Origin. Don't know if you know that it took place last night. The Blues won 38-18. That's why we got two of the all-time great Blues on here. But if you are a Queensland fan, please just watch anyway, even if there's ragging on it.
Or don't. We don't really give a fuck.
I don't speak for Jimmy there.
No, fair enough, Latsy, because you're positive.
Always.
You're a positive man. Also, the brand new segment that it nearly took down the internet last week, the life and times of Jerry and Jimmy. Well, we now have Louis involved as well. Played a lot of footy with these two blokes. I'm sure you've got plenty of insight into what it was like. As I said earlier, the positive place, it returns, this segment. People are just doing it in their cars now. They're doing it in schools. It's just all about being positive. Today's question is, I want a positive memory or a happy memory from State of Origin. All right, could be watching it, boys. Could be playing it. Just something positive. We're going to get the positive juices flowing in here. Plenty of good juju. Everybody happy with that?
Love that.
Beautiful.
Who is this guy?
I've also got this awesome segment called Other Footy News. I don't know if we'll get to it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Finally, we'll preview the weekend games. Toby is playing tomorrow against the Doggies. I don't know who we'll pick. We might pick the Sharks. We might pick the Doggies. I've got a feeling I know who Latsy and Jimmy will pick, but we'll have a little look at that. Anyway, and Jimmy, have you got a Would You Rather for us?
Good chat.
That might be a no from Jimmy. Jimmy Maloney, do you have us?
Sorry, mate. You just got me then. You dropped out.
All good. Do you have a Would You Rather for us this week, Jimmy? Something we can broadcast?
Yeah, I do, mate.
I sent two good fan ones through.
Yeah, well, we'll chat about those as well when we get to it. So people have started sending Would You Rathers through. This is this segment that Jimmy Maloney's come up with out of the blue. I've never heard anything like it.
Could just imagine where it goes.
Yeah.
And so excited to when he told us.
We've been able to use one so far out of his three.
They're all inappropriate.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
It's just abhorrent shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots of fun. And that's it. Then that's the show. And then you just move on with your life and, we all move on with ours. Right. It says here, now ask everybody how they are. Louis, let's start with you. Luke Lewis. You've obviously been lifting a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, mate. Life's good. A couple of business started up. We've been a little mate here, which is great. Fit and healthy. Kids are good. And we had a cracking win last night in the Origin. So pretty happy man at the moment.
What's it like being in business with Latsy? Is that
Hard
That's a
work,
great question.
very hard work. He doesn't shut up. Mate, sometimes you just need a little bit of peace. You need a little bit of quiet time just to know which way you're going. He does not shut up. He gets on the phone, rings you. In saying that, it's great, but mate, sometimes I just have to ignore his calls, brush his calls. I was actually with Toby the other day. He brushed his calls as well, so he started feeling the same. So.
This needs to be spoken about on the potty, actually.
do it now.
For later.
No. Let's jump into it. This is great lead in by Luke Lewis. So we're going
How
for
are
a
you
walk.
first part?
Huh? We'll go there, shush.
Okay.
We were going for a walk along the Esplanade, me and Louis, Whelan and Dylan, as we do. I go, look, there's Toby on his balcony. I go, I'll call him. Through to the keeper. Louis, first ring. Hey, Louis, how are you? Fucking brown noser. I was off it, eh?
So you looked at it, went, can't do Latsy right now, not in the right headspace.
Yeah, nailed it. I was just like, you know what? Jeremy Lattimore, Jeremy, absolutely no way. And then within a second, Lewis called me and I was like, yes! What would you
Well,
like
but
to
it's
do
true,
about
though,
it?
because he doesn't shut up. Because when you get on the phone to Latsy,
Yeah.
you know when someone rings you, and you go, shit, that's at least a half 40-minute call, So you sort of got to pick the timing.
I'm experiencing it a lot, having set up this podcast.
Mate, you dialed me today. Oh, actually, I did dial you twice.
I dialed you to say stop dialing me.
Yeah,
basically.
that's true, actually,
So
you're right.
Latsy, you're well. Can we move on from you?
Never been better.
Beautiful.
Never been better.
Toby, how are you, mate? You're all ready and raring to go tomorrow?
Ready to rip and tear tomorrow against the Bulldogs. Been a really good week of training, of course, and just looking forward to have Nico and Cam back both in the side and fighting fit, ready to go.
All right, we will get a bit more in depth on that game when we do our forensic look at the weekend's games. A lot of football nerds come to us now, Louis, for all the info, so they can pick who's going to win.
We don't miss on the tips.
No, Latsy's very good at it. Finally, Jimmy Maloney up there in Queensland. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Refreshed after a bye week. Got over to Magnetic Island for a few days and kicked back. So, yeah, life's good.
Talk to me. Oh, sorry, you go, Louis.
No, so what'd you get up to? I know what you get up to in your little spare time. Anything like any
Just said,
beaches,
Barbecuing.
bit of shirts off, whatever else you do.
I just said, mate, I was over on Magnetic Island.
Wow, no need to yell at him, bro.
Hey, Jimmy,
Not
how's-
relaxed.
And catching mud crabs. I caught my first mud crab the other night, actually, which was good. Cooked her up. She was beautiful.
What do we do with that statement?
Well, I was just thinking, is that your first time catching crabs? Probably not. But we're not doing jokes like that.
No. We don't have to cut it out.
No, we can leave that in, but that's not that sort of podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, let me ask how Townsville's going this morning. How many burning cars on that main road? Broken shop windows?
No, all good, mate. The locals are behaving, so there's still a decider. So we've got one more game to go, and hopefully we get the result as New South Welshmen, and then there might be a bit of carnage up here after that.
Hurricane Jerry's due to hit there next Saturday, mate. How you feeling about that?
Oh, pump, mate. Look how excited I am. Can't wait.
So how long are you going up for?
We're in Townsville till the Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday. Then we're going to Ellie Beach for a few nights.
Very nice,
Are you drinking again, Latsy, or are you still...
Yeah, no, I'm back having a few beers, mate. I've got a bit of a training schedule to follow while I'm up there. Luke has sort of got me on a bit of a plan. So, mate, you should join. You look like you got AIDS, so it'll be good for you to come along.
You know what? We might actually have some cool content. I'm pretty sure next week when Latsy's up, there's the Formula One and all that's up here, and there's the Phil Brophy or whatever the boxing troop. So Latsy's been telling me how keen he is to have a fight this year. So we might be able to get him in and record it and see how he goes. Watch someone punch the fuck out of him. It'd be awesome.
Have you been sparring with him, Louis? Have you been?
No,
have
we
you
did
seen
a
him
while
his-
back, and he fucking would he'd just cover his body and fucking hurt my wrist because he'd keep putting his elbows there.
Well,
Ready to go out.
we used to spar, but it was only body sparring.
Yeah.
But, so you used to put your elbows down. I got a bit pointy elbows.
Fight's
and then you
his
throw
shadow,
a corky
Latsy.
forearm. So
Yeah,
bit of a trick. It was good.
All right, very good. Hey, while you're talking about the trip up there, you and all of us are squeezing Budgy for some extra kit for your family to wear up there in
Ellie Beach.
Ellie Beach. And it seems like the perfect time for me to do the Budgy Smuggler read. Let's do that. So our apparel partner Louis is Budgy Smuggler. We get the hoodies, we got the hat. There's the undies. Is anybody wearing the undies today? Have you got them on?
Always got the
Can
tops
you,
on.
can you show us?
Hang on a sec. So
Yeah.
you got a sponsor of Budgy Smugglers.
Yeah,
Mate, I'm not G'ing up, so I wear budgies, love them.
yeah.
He's taken about 5 pairs of my Budgy Smugglers because we go to the gym, obviously, we have a sauna and do whatever we do. He goes, bro, I left me budgies at home. Can I borrow your budgies? I've never got them back. That's
So
legit.
why-
So you got a sponsor of
Bro,
budgies
you
and I
said
haven't
you-
got anything. At least get some back. Mate, Budgie, if you're listening, he's stealing all my budgies. I need them back.
He said he wouldn't wear them after I put my piece in it.
Why?
They
Too
stretched.
stretched.
Yeah. Oh, not that, but anyway.
Can you show me the undies quickly? So these are the undies. These are available. These are brand new. Louis, you can get, let me tell you about this deluxe bamboo blend, no rub thigh panel. It's pretty schmick. Keeps your tools secure. They're fantastic. Also, the hats are available. The hoodies are amazing. We're wearing them now. It feels like you're wearing a hug. We'll try and get you one, Louis.
Do they
Triple
come in
XL.
that big?
Triple XL.
What size are you, Louis?
Double X.
Okay. You like to wear them tight.
38. 38 Speedos.
Very good. All right, get on the website, budgysmuggler.com.au. At the moment, there is a code Journeymen. If you type that in when you're buying, you get 23% off our comfy AF new underwear collection. That's Journeyman. Type it in, and hopefully plenty of sales, and they'll keep sponsoring us. Then hopefully Louis might get one of those pairs of
Back.
budgies
That'd be nice.
I got you, bro.
that Latsy has stolen. All right, hey, people love us talking about Budgy Smuggler, but what they love talking about even more is Origin. 2 of the all-time great Origin players for New South Wales. You boys put your
I was just me and Toby are kicking back. We'll let Maloney and Louis talk.
Okay,
Just
well,
go
I
on
might
10
pop
minutes.
out as well.
Yeah.
And I asked this to Jimmy last. So Jimmy Maloney, obviously Luke Lewis, to the all-time great Blues. Last time I asked Jimmy, I phrased it pretty simply. I said, why did Queensland win so convincingly? So Louis, I'll start with you today. Let me just ask you very simply, why did New South Wales win so convincingly this time?
I think they played the perfect game of footy. The first 40 minutes, I haven't seen the team dominate a 40 minutes of football like that ever. So I think that's what I put it down to, just purely the perfect game of football. The kicking game was brilliant. They played over the ad line. Their leg speed, their play the ball speed was brilliant. They were getting the calls as well. Were going their way. Their kicking game was amazing. Mitch Moses was probably one of the best games I've seen him play. But they had players all over the park playing 8, 9, 10 out of 10. So that's a massive step in the right direction.
You said on the ABC you call it the perfect half of rugby league.
Yeah.
Obviously referring to their first half. 34-0 lead at halftime, the biggest lead ever seen at a halftime. I think Matt Thompson said the last one was 1983. Queensland were winning 21-0 back then. So historic night for football. Jimmy, obviously you are the halves master. Was he the difference? Was Mitchell Moses the difference, or was it something else?
Well, mate, I think he was very good. I thought Luai was very good, but as Louis said, I think it's hard to fault any of their performances across the paddock in that first half. They completed pretty much. I don't know if they made an error.
21
in the first
21
half.
out of 22.
Yeah, right. So that's hard to do. So every time Queensland had the ball, they were coming out of their corners, and I think the very first set of defence, like New South Wales chose to kick off, and I think they set the tone from that very first set of defence. Got down there and bashed them, and were on top pretty much from the get-go. So I think it's awesome, and it's awesome that it's going to a decider, and there's a lot of confidence that obviously the side will take out of that performance going into game 3. But I just hope that they're prepared that it won't go like that again. You can be sure as shit that in game 3, they won't have the rub of the green, and they won't get on the front foot and play on the front foot that whole half. So I think it'll be a very different story in game 3, and hopefully the Blues are ready for that.
Yeah, obviously the back end of that game, there was a bit of niggle. Do you think they've given Queensland added motivation by that? And then also, would you make any changes to the 17?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't change anything from the Blues side. I think they're brilliant. Again, to win the way they did and the way they played, you can't change it. I don't believe you can, unless injuries. But you know what it is. 3 weeks in rugby league is a huge time in rugby league. Look, for me, the niggle, I love it. Personally, I hate the pushing and shoving though. I really do. I hate it. I'd rather just see him throw a couple of punches, and if they all throw punches, then they can't all get sent off, right? But that was what I grew up with though as a kid, right? That's why I used to drive home, get home, watch Origin, and that's what it was when the fights come. I used to love that. I know it's changed now, but look, I'm with Jimmy. I think to have a half and the way that game planned out on the weekend, that don't happen very often. You'd be very lucky to get that. One every couple of years to have something like that, right? But I think a referee is going to put has to put that whistle in his pocket for game 3. I felt like game 1 was a bit of a blowout. Obviously, what happened was Swaliti. You probably and you agree. It was the sort of the contest had gone right from there. You expected Queensland to win by 20. The other night, the way that the Blues played and they got off to, there was no contest. It was a pretty boring game because there was no real contest.
Not for New South Wales fans.
New South Wales was brilliant because there were a lot of Queenslanders around us. So you were cheering, you could see the look on your face. It was awesome. But I think game 3 that we don't see as many penalties. I don't think we see as many set restarts. I think it's going to be hopefully end-to-end stuff and a heap of fatigue just kick in and the survival of the fittest. That's what I'd love to see. And I reckon that's sort of how the game's sort of starting to track, and I think that's where it's going to go.
So you're talking about the niggle and obviously the sin bins. Sorry, Jimmy, did you have something then?
Yeah, I think a little bit, like it was interesting with the referee, and like obviously after the Swalihi thing in game 1, like they had, was it Liam Martin upended Ruben Cotter, went past horizontal, which in a normal NRL game is probably 10 in the bin, and that was let go. And then there were a few high contacts that weren't bad, but again, at NRL level, they would be sent for 10 as soon as it's contact with the head and stuff like that. And it was all let go, which is what we sort of said before the first one, that Origin is always ref to a different standard. It always has been and always will, whether you think it or not. And I think that added to it. Obviously, it was a bit of a shame that after a head rub and a bit of a push and shove that we thought we had to lose one from each side. And like, I think it was just You know, I think the ref just trying to make sure he didn't lose control of it, but I don't think he was going to. I think the rivalry is good. I don't think it adds anything, you know, doesn't give Queensland any more fuel, doesn't go either way. I think, you know, you're going to get to a decider in game 3 and both sides are going to be balls out with everything on the line. So there's going to be plenty of fire there regardless. Yeah, so it should be good.
Toby, let me come to you. You're a current NRL forward. Angus Crichton currently is playing out of his skin. Is he someone, when you come up against the Roosters, that you're looking at and you're thinking this guy's going to make a huge difference?
You know what? When you verse the Roosters, they got one of the most stacked, intimidating forward packs in the comp. You got the likes of Hargraves, who's doing what he's doing at 35. You got Spencer Leniu, who runs through brick walls. Even the likes of Sua Wong, Tupanua. The list goes on. So
Terrell May.
Terrell May. I think he had an 80-minute performance. Yeah. White as well. So, well, definitely he's in and amongst the best back rowers in the game at the moment, and he's definitely someone you want to single out. But the Roosters team as a whole is pretty impressive, to be honest. So, yeah, I think he had an outstanding game and was the sort of driving factor as to why he won both back rowers. Liam Martin was on fire as well, I thought. Just brought the intent, brought the energy, and yeah, it was just good to see the Blues put a performance like that together, to be honest.
So someone like Crichton, we all know there was a bit of a shift in his season when the Roosters came out and said they'd signed Dave Fafita, right? Basically put a rocket up him, is what it looks like. I just wanted to ask you guys, you've all played for a long time. Has there ever been a moment when you're playing at a club and then the club signs somebody in your position and then you go, oh, holy shit, I better start applying myself? Did that ever happen to you, Louis?
Oh, there's always, I think every time someone, you know, comes over sort of in that sort of position or thereabouts who can play back row or play lock, you'd sort of go, okay, well, you get this fuck you mentality. That's how I used to have, this fuck you mentality. It was all like, all right, well, I'm going to fucking prove you wrong with anyone. And then, so, yeah, absolutely, you have it. I think that what you're bringing up with Angus Crichton definitely would have sparked him. But, mate, whatever Angus Crichton's doing at the moment, I think his aggression, his running game, his footwork, his decision-making at the moment is probably the best I've seen. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because I reckon he sort of reminds me of that bloke that he'll get a bit of a fire in his belly and he'll want to prove everyone wrong. And that's what I love about him. So I reckon he got that fuck you mentality as well.
Jimmy, did it ever happen to you? Did anybody ever bring in a halfback and you went, well, fuck, I better start applying myself? Or
He wouldn't have given a fuck.
Did you ever care, Jimmy?
Now, you couldn't. His name's Dory.
I was normally the halfback they brought in and everyone else was fucking worried.
Well, on the flip side to that, every club I was at, they're always bringing in front rows to take me spot. So I wasn't as lucky as Jimmy. I was on the other hand. But just back to Crichton, what about the quads on him?
Yeah,
mate, I was looking at them last night. They are huge.
I nearly just hit him with my car down on Moore Park Road.
I thought you were going to say saw him at school in Manly like you see everyone else who brushes you.
Funnily enough, I saw Seabold the other day. Siebes was on my street.
Everyone brushes him at Stracker.
Siebes! No, ignore me. But he was...
One of these days, Preston, someone will acknowledge
one of these one days. Manly player. Just say, g'day, Professor. God, I love that. Other than Beaver Menzies, because I'm sick of that. Hey, other things to, I guess, analyse, other standout performances. Dylan Edwards at the back was amazing on his debut. Zach Lomax in the air, in particular on his wing. I felt like every New South Wales player stood up.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that something they can continue with? Is that something...
I think so. I think the way that their structure is and their plan, I think it's real simple for them. They know exactly what they need to do. They know what their strengths are. I think Mitch Moses' game for me it was the best I've seen Mitch Moses play. I don't know what you think, Jimmy, but his kicking game was brilliant. But the thing that stood out for me with Mitch Moses was his defence. His defence and his reads at 3-man, and it's a pretty hard place to defend, and Jimmy will be able to sort of touch on this a bit more, but getting up and making those decisions, not turning in on your back rower, knowing what's going on. But he was jamming Dearden, and he come up with 2 big plays on Tommy Dearden to come up with a couple of errors. I thought he was just excellent, the way that he controlled the game, his kicking game. Zach Lomax is a big talking point because I love him as a player and what he's doing on the wing. Parramatta have brought him as a centre. But I think he's got to start to realise he is a world-class winger, world-class. He comes in looking for a lot of work. He does, he's got great footwork. He's strong, creates great play the balls for his team. He's amazing under the high ball. And I think he's one of the best kick chasers in the comp. Yeah. He chases the ball like a loon bag and still gets the timing right every time. So he's an out-and-out winger. And then the back rows, like you said, everyone just playing outstanding. Reece Robson, I think he's been great out of dummy half. His service has been brilliant. And then their bench come on. The only thing is New South Wales, I don't know how they don't really know how to use Olakau'atu just yet. Like, he's a great player. I just don't know how they don't know how to use him yet, but he could be huge for New South Wales as well. But they just haven't found the right way to be able to get him on the field.
That was when I asked about 17 before. That's the main thing I've seen in the first 2 games with him, and obviously such a weapon at club level. But do you bring in a Mitch Barnett? But yeah, you don't want to mess with what is the word? Feng Shui. You don't want to mess with it because obviously they had such a dominant performance. But someone like Mitch Barnett, who's an out and out middle, because the 2 edge back rowers played 80 minutes. And he's Olakau'atu or middle, probably not. So that may be something they may need to look at. But
which is I think Olakau'atu in that arena, when you get him in the right position with the right ball, he can cause so much damage. But I don't know if Madge knows how to use him just yet. He's still trying to work that out.
I think Feng Shui is where you position your furniture.
Yeah, cool. You can sleep on one side or the other.
Yeah, Feng Shui on the bench.
Yeah, Olakau'atu. He's your seat in the corner you don't want to move.
That was another good comparable like we won last week.
Yeah, that was really good. The party one.
Terrible.
That was fantastic. Okay, we better talk some Queensland. Jimmy Maloney, you are the coach here. All right, you put your coach's hat on. Billy Slater's sitting there. Last night in the press conference, they say, "Billy, will you make any changes to the 17?" Billy's response is, "We're Queenslanders." Now, obviously, that is saying no, we don't make changes. We pick and stick. Is that
depends on how you look at it? Because
it just depends, because Queensland, when they were winning all those series, they love to hang their hat on we pick and stick and we're rock solid. But when we beat them in 18-19 a few times, and I'll tell you what, there was a few fucking changes then. So I think it's easy to sort of hang your hat on the we pick and stick when you're winning. Like, as always, no one's ever going to go, oh, New South Wales going to make any changes. No, now they're sweet. But I think Billy will give them all the right of reply. They got the job done in game 1. The series is still alive, so I think you give them all the right of reply to sort of make amends for what went on. And by the sounds of it, that's what he's going to do. So, yeah. I suppose they've all learnt that, but then the other thing is, if you're going to make changes, it's not just about getting rid of someone; it's who are you going to replace them with. So, I don't know, what sort of options they've got for certain positions, but that's sort of something.
Do you bring Selwyn Cobbo back in though if you coach there? Like I know Selwyn Cobbo asks, he's got something going on, away from footy, and he asked for that rest, which is huge. But I think it was a masterclass move from him in game 1. And do you bring him back? Because he can still he's big carries. He reminds me of Greg Inglis, the way that he carries the ball. He just bumps people off. He's got speed. He can do some great things with footy in his hand. But if you're Billy, do you try and get someone like that back?
Who was he in for?
Well, Kurt Capewell, I think, come in and took his spot because of Selwyn wanting to have that time for his head,
Play him on the bench.
Yeah.
Kafusi come onto the bench as well, didn't he? Because he was that 8th man.
Legs or something. Mate, it's something that Queensland did for a little bit. Remember Cherry Evans and that? They used to just pick him on, and basically he didn't come on really with a position. He just came on late in game with fresh legs.
Yeah.
Mate, who knows? Yeah.
I love your face though. It's like, who knows, but who really cares?
Does not give a fuck.
Pick whoever you fucking want. I don't.
You blokes have gone up and you've played at Lang Park or you've played at Suncorp. Have you ever played a decider up there at game 3?
Yeah.
What can you tell us what that experience is like?
Well, mate, look, again, we can both talk about it, but the best place in the world to play Origin is up there, Suncorp. It's amazing. They're 3 metres away from you. It's the loudest environment you've ever been in. Everyone out there hates you at the time, which is awesome. You can't hear yourself think. Whereas I think on the weekend, last night, it wouldn't have been as loud, right? Because it's so far away. But mate, up there, the calls don't go your way. Your back's against the wall, mate. Any little half pass that looks like it's forward, the crowd are giving you everything for the referee to blow it. So you got to be perfect. You got to go up there and be perfect. But it's the greatest challenge in the world. So I think if you go up there and you win the decider and you get that trophy up there, I think that's the pinnacle of Origin, personally.
Well, I think we spoke about in the last when Origin first, when the game one sort of started, we said that the only time we've actually done it was 1984 when we lost game one and won game 3 in Brisbane. So, you know, what a challenge for the Blues, especially coming off that game. It was such a one-sided performance. So I hope they can do it again and actually bring the trophy home. Bring it home.
What do you think, Jimmy?
Or was it didn't someone tell Toby give us a stat that when two the same captains from the same club side have won it, and wasn't that the same year that they won it in
81.
Brisbane or something?
Yeah, when two players are in the same club, both captains come from the same club, New South Wales never lost a series.
Yeah, Terry Lamb and Brad Fittler.
Yeah, Terry Lamb. Yeah, Adrian Lamb.
Are you sure? Didn't Mal Meninga and Laurie Daly?
Yeah, Laurie Daly won. New South Wales won.
He's
it was a
fast.
draw. It was a draw. It was one. It was that was like a 1-1 and then a draw.
Okay.
His facts are always so off, so take that with a grain of salt.
Jimmy, Suncorp, is it in Origin as a New South Welshman, is the best feeling winning a decider in Suncorp? Is that the best you've partied? Is that the most fun you've had?
I don't think I've won at Suncorp. I don't think I won a decider up there.
Hasn't happened since 1981, so you wouldn't have.
But it's a
You said-
good
I didn't win.
yeah, but
I won a
it's a
game
good
there, not a
place.
decider.
There hasn't been a.
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, it's a good place to play. Like in terms of, as Louis said, the atmosphere. Like Queensland, they're all against you. Like the booze crazy, but I think it fuels you. Whether they're cheering you on or booing you, you know, it still adds fuel to the fire, and you sort of run out and go, "Fucking let's go! How good!" You know. So it's it's an awesome place to go. It's obviously very hard to win. History tells you that, but you know, to be able to lift the shield in Queensland would be a bloody good feeling, I'm sure.
Well, Jimmy, out there, I remember when we went up there in the New South Wales residents team and obviously won in enemy territory. So, mate, only good memories on Lang Park with you, mate.
How good was that, Latsy?
Mate, no one give us a chance.
Great origin
Similar.
career from yourself, mate.
Very similar.
It's exactly the same.
I was Latrell. You were who were
Connor
you?
Watson.
Connor Watson. We dominated.
Let's
You're
tie this.
Latrell's brother.
Shaquille. Yeah, he's awesome. Hey, let's tie this in a nice little bow. Louis, who's going to win game 3?
New South Wales, 100%. Well, you just heard the stat from Toby. So,
Well, that's what worries me.
Back in 81. So New South Wales will win. I think it'll be a tight one. I'm not going to say Queensland anyway, but I think it'll be a tight one. 4 points in it. Be our best game.
Okay. Now, I'll get yours later on, boys, because we'll obviously be chatting between now and the next game. Of
course.
But we'll remember what Louis said, the learned man that he is. Hey, the last thing, let's do the positive place now. All right, this is everybody. Just start thinking positively. Start thinking, I'm Latsy, I'm Latsy, I'm Latsy. Everything's great. The world's wonderful. All right?
That's more.
Let's make it today. Jimmy, do you want to go first for us? What is your favourite all-time Origin memory?
Well, it's funny that Latsy just led me into it. I actually played reserve grade New South Wales residents with Latsy, and we had a win up in Queensland. So that was my favourite with Latsy, but my favourite actual Origin one was winning my first series, 2018. So I played in a few that had lost, and was something that was really, really irking me and really wanted to tick off. So when I finally got to do that, that was probably my favourite memory.
Toby, have you got a memory of watching Origin, something that...
Yeah, for sure. It was one or two. 2019, that was the infamous kick down the sideline, Fergo, Tedesco on the inside, one on the bell. Seeing my whole life growing up, when I'd never won, I say I like, you know, that's how sort of much it means. I say I as in New South Wales. I'd never won a series going through high school, never since 7 to year 12, and you know, grew up with the 8 years of dominance, and then to see New South Wales actually snatch a game from Queensland, like the way I'd seen Queensland do it to us so many times. I remember I was watching it at my brother's place, and I had work the next day at 4:30 in the morning, and ended up drinking right up until that time and rocking up to work in a horrible state, but it was well worth it just to see it happen.
Did you lose your job?
No, a few weeks later I did, but
Fantastic. Very good.
Yeah, look, mine would be playing in the New South Wales
doesn't
Redlands
count.
game with
That
Jimmy
doesn't- I'm
Maloney.
talking-
Walking out of the casino at 6 a.m, Jimmy. Only good memories, bro. Nah, look, mine's one coming up in Origin 3. Latrell or Mitch Moses kicking a field goal from 30 out to win the game.
that's so your favourite's about to happen.
Yeah.
Wow, Nostradamus, fucking hell.
I'm giving you a fact check.
Okay, so, mate, if this happens, you
Yeah.
are. So,
I don't know what it's going to be. I just think it's Trell. Everything this series is building to big Trell stepping up and winning the Origin series.
Okay. I don't know if that. No, you know what? It's a positive place.
Yeah,
Great work.
mate. Yeah,
Like
I
what
know.
you
God,
did there.
look, trust you trying to put a negative on it.
No.
Oh, that's not a memory.
Wonderful.
But
What a great podcast. Louis.
Yeah, I got two.
Yeah.
One thing that I remember when I was a young kid, all I ever wanted to do was play for the Blues. Run home. Yeah, couldn't wait for the game to kick off. But Benny Elias on the field with his mum, got his head wrapped, blood all over himself. It was a memory that I'll never forget, and it epitomised what Origin was about. So that was what created the Origin thing for me. But my favourite moment was in 2004, made me debut in 2004 for New South Wales. But my childhood hero was Brad Fittler. Brad Fittler come back. So I was like a little kid. He was on the bus. He was out front. I'd sit next to him. I'd follow him. He was first on the field. I'd be first on the field. I'd be out there just running the field, getting passes off and getting catches. So I'd say probably playing with Brad Fittler and then winning the series in New South Wales was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty
Not
cool.
bad.
Very, very
Not
good.
bad.
And mine is I went to in 2019 and Shannon Knowles, the pre-game entertainment. He was fantastic. So that's all right. Hey, can I now do what you sent? So on our WhatsApp group, because Latsy's trying to turn me and Toby into positive people. He calls us Gravity 1 and Gravity 2. He thinks we drag the mood down. He sent us was it a fortune cookie quote?
No, just quoting one of the books I was reading.
Okay, so this is the type of shit I'm getting at the moment. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Positive
I know
energy.
exactly.
Yeah, come on, man.
I get the same.
I always send it to him
You
too.
said it as well. Be optimistic, be positive. It's important. Optimists actually do better in the long run.
Optimus Prime.
Bro, why be negative? Why put negative energy out there?
You did right. That was the positive place. That is the end of that segment, so we can go back to saying get fucked everybody. So this is great. All right, NRL, let's look at round 16. Is everybody
17.
happy to do round 17? Apologies. Everybody happy to do that next? Let's take a little look forward, starting with your game. Toby, the mighty Doggies take on the super mighty Sharks.
Yeah.
Latsy, have you got a little something for me on this? You normally have a little tidbit.
No, obviously at Shark Park, their previous game there, they lost to Redcliffe. Mate, I think Bulldogs, I tipped them on the weekend and they went down to the Roosters, but mate, Stephen Crichton back in that football team, he's just enormous at the moment. So I'm looking forward to him monstering Toby on Friday night.
Would you say they're morals? Would you use the M word?
Look, they are morals.
What does morals mean?
They can't
Morals,
lose.
they can't lose.
Oh, morals can't lose? That's not the definition of morals.
No,
if you say
there's no
someone
morals
is
in
a-
a two-horse race.
Do you know?
What?
If you say someone is immoral,
Yeah, immoral,
no, amoral.
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 Yeah.
You haven't heard that phrase before?
Never, not once in my whole life.
I'm starting to doubt it's a real thing now because you're questioning.
And he went to a private school.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
isn't it, Jimmy? If you say,
Him and the Hello Sport boys.
back me up here, Jimmy.
Yeah, I got
No, we lost him. Perfect timing for me. Hey,
Yes.
Louis, I'll finish with you on this one.
Okay.
Louis, Doggies or Sharks, and why?
Listen, there's one thing I never do. I never tip against the Sharks. I never tip against the Panthers. But the Sharks, full team, Cam McInnes back. He'll be burning that he didn't get to play. I think Nico back, well rested. He'll be burning. He'll want to be, wanting to play his best game. I think the forward back of the Sharks can dominate. They can hold the ball. And, Braden Ueli coming off. I just love the Sharks side. I think they're really well balanced. So I think, Sharks by 13 plus.
A thumper.
Wow.
Jimmy, Sharks or Doggies, and why?
Sharkies because I used to play for them.
Good chat.
That's a great chat. I love that, Jimmy.
Well, I can't fault
Positive
it.
shit.
I can't fault it. Toby, over to you, mate. Obviously, we know who you're going to pick.
Yeah.
But convince us.
Why?
Well,
Wow.
like you're in. You guys are you coming second still? The
I think,
Sharkies.
well, still coming second. I think the biggest sort of inclusion for me is Cam. We sort of missed him over the bye and over the week of training. He was obviously in Blues camp and doing his thing up there. But having him back just today, he came back today for the first time, and having his sort of calming presence, and he's our leader, he's our skipper, and without him in the team, it's sort of everyone tries to sort of, sum up the session, but when he speaks, he just nails it. He just sort of speaks what everyone's thinking. And yeah, look, I think he's going to be the difference out there. Obviously, Louis' point, Braden Ueli's massive off the bench. He isn't playing this week, but that's all right. Louis, thank you for...
He's not back.
No, he's not playing yet. No.
Shit info.
Yeah.
Mate, it doesn't matter on this podcast. We just toss shit up.
Exactly right. No, but look, we're not taking the challenge lightly. Bulldogs have been hyped up for the last few weeks. They were, second defensive team in the competition. 17 played the balls in their cage to score a try. So... Look, they've come a long way since round 2, since we versed them back then, and we got the chocolates then, but they're a different team now, but so are we. So we're looking to get back on top and improve our standing. We can do something special this season, and it all starts tomorrow night. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
All right, so next it's the Warriors. They take on the Bronx. Warriors last week, I'm going to say it was a genuine shellacking, 66-6.
Gathorping.
Yeah, and then obviously your Bronx last week, they had the bye. Have you got anything for me, Latsy? Anything to...
Latsy Statsies.
Yeah, look, I don't know, man. It's a bit... Warriors, obviously, when in our pre-game tips last week, I don't think anyone picked the Titans. The Warriors were very, very average. So they'll be back at home with a point to prove. But at the same time, Broncos have probably been underperforming. Reece Walsh hasn't played for them for a few weeks, so... and he actually was really, really quiet last night. So I reckon he'll have a bit of a beanie's bonnet to play well. So I think the Broncos will beat the Warriors.
Do the players that lose the Origin traditionally when they go back to their clubs then lift for that next game, or is it a bit of
I think they come back with better players. Yeah, definitely. Because they come back with a bit of confidence. Even if they lost, they still come back with a bit of confidence. They've been around the greatest players in the game for 10 days. So they definitely bring a lot back. And that Warriors game, I think it's... the hiding that they copped on the weekend, the amount of work and the amount of feedback they would have got about that game, negative and positive, I think they'll be up for this game. And I think the Broncos need to bounce back and start winning as well. So I actually think it's going to be a really good game of football. I don't think it's going to be a slacking. I don't think there's going to be a heap in it. And I think both sides really need to play their best footy. So I reckon we'll see some pretty good football by both sides.
What do you reckon, Jimmy Maloney? What do you reckon about Origin boys coming back? Like you drinking till 4 a.m. and then coming and turning up on a Friday night? How'd that go?
Oh, I'd still turn up and get the job done because some can and some can't, mate. So, but with the Warriors, I'm going for the Warriors because I used to play for them as well.
Mate, we're going to go through the whole team.
Yeah, I was going to say these.
You played for every team, haven't you? You're like Latsy.
Right.
Journeymen, mate.
Yeah.
The
That's
Journeymen.
the podcast, man. Hey, shout out _footy. Let's go.
Like, subscribe. Sorry.
All right, so who are you going, Tobes? Bronx or Warriors?
I want to go the Warriors in an upset. You're right, both teams underperforming, and sort of what Groover said is completely correct. Can we go into why you call everyone Groover before we move on for this, or we've got enough time? Probably not.
No, we've actually got plenty of time.
We should get through the games, eh?
Yeah.
We can do that. We can do
We'll
that.
get back to it.
Warriors.
Eels, Knights. Oh, did you pick some up? Warriors.
Warriors.
Thanks you, Toby. Knights, Eels. The Eels now find themselves at the bottom of the ladder,
Yeah, it's nuts.
following the Tigers.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get Toby. You have inspired them. You've inspired a
The
whole...
Tigers play this week?
Yeah, they play.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there with
Let's focus on,
Roosters.
yeah.
Obviously, Moses goes back to the Eels, having just parted the sea. That's terrible.
That's terrible. Queensland the sea?
That's dog shit. Let's start with you, Jimmy. You didn't play for either of these clubs, so we might get an actual answer. Oh, hang on. You played for the Eels. Fuck me. Which team, Jimmy?
What was the game?
Eels, Knights.
Knights. Because the Eels are shit. They're down the bottom, aren't they?
Bro, you're on today,
That's a
eh?
doozy.
There you go. Louis,
Jimmy,
Knights or
Maloney.
Eels, mate?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go for the Eels to bounce back. I'm just gonna go Mitch Moses factor, confidence, plays 10 out of 10 on Wednesday night. I'm gonna go Eels.
Okay.
I'm going to go Knights.
Have you got a reason? You got to give me some statsies, Latsies.
Mate, I love Tyson Frizzell. Let's go the Frizz.
Okay. And you...
Me and off.
and that was your local team growing up, right? The Knights, technically?
Yeah, the closest to me.
Closest
Yeah,
to
I
you.
told you it's got a few trials there. Yeah. 3 of 7. But who's counting?
Did you go for the Knights growing up?
Broncos. Yeah.
You are... You're
A Journeyman.
You
I'm a
are.
Journeyman.
And then Tobes? Knights or Eels?
Yeah, I'm going to go the Eels for exactly what Lukey was said. Mate, you're stealing everything. Get out of my head.
No, you're really copying everything.
No,
he says
get out of
today.
my head.
No wonder you answer his calls and not mine.
Someone's jealous. Someone's jealous.
It's beautiful, man. Storm, Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders last week. Goodness me. Did anybody see that coming? 48-24. Did you say last week the Tigers?
Wait, did they versus the Tigers?
Tigers, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're very pro Tigers, do it every week. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. So, can they get it done against the Storm? Obviously, Storm. No, I mean, how many times has this been said at this time of the season are on top of the table?
Jesus.
Can the Raiders beat them? They are long outsiders.
Canberra play well always play well down in Melbourne, always play well. But Melbourne, I don't know what it is, man. They just, at the moment, they just know how to win. And they know how to build a game. They know how to close out a game. And they got X factor all over the park. And I just like the way Jerome Hughes is playing at the moment. So I'll stick with Melbourne.
Mate, I think the Raiders have got a few young blokes in there. They were playing well at the start of the year, but they've sort of started to not fall apart, but it's a long season in the NRL. This middle part of the year's long. After watching that performance last week, I'm going Melbourne 13+.
Interesting tapes.
Yeah, going to go Melbourne as well. I really like how they're playing at the moment. They know how to win games, they know how to close out games. X factor all over the park, and Jerome Hughes is playing very well at the moment as well.
Very original.
Wait, is he reading off a copy writer thing here?
That's actually pretty good how you remember that.
Yeah.
Charlie, is there a copy
your
sign here we
memory's
didn't
all
see?
right.
Yeah. Call me, Louis. Call me anytime, I'll answer.
Jimmy, Storm v Raiders.
Storm, he paid for him.
Storm will play for him.
Jimmy.
No, I think the Raiders can bounce back, but I'm going for the Storm because I used to play for them.
Dragons, Dolphins. This is Sunday afternoon football. The Dragons, obviously, we always remember that Latsy is involved in the club there. Does that have any sort of impact on the players on the weekend?
Fucking no.
Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
No.
Maybe it doesn't. The Dolphins, they still sit in 5th position.
Can we just ask Jimmy's opinion on the Dolphins?
Jimmy, what do you think of the Dolphins, Dragons?
Yeah, they're overperforming. They'll drop away.
That's the Dolphins.
That's how you really feel.
Yeah, Dolphins, Dragons will be good, mate. They're signed a great coach, so I think they're turning things around. So I'm with the Dragons.
Yeah, mate. We know he's one of your favourite coaches. You boys, obviously coached by Flanno. Can we? We're jumping into the Maloney and Louis stories later.
Is that too early? All right,
Too early.
The boys
you don't want to go off early.
The boys want to tell a story about you and Flanno.
No, but he did just say Flanno was a great coach, and he is a good coach.
Yeah. So
But Jimmy Maloney did also say to me one day when we had a game plan given to us by Flanno a day before, he goes, whatever the fuck he said, we're not doing on the weekend. We'll get into that later.
Jimmy
that is
Maloney.
very good.
I'm going the Dragons. Hammer's out. Well, I think he's, unless he...
Shoulder.
Done his, AC. But in saying that, he's a good young replacement, Trey Fuller, but go the Dragons.
Have the Dragons given you anything to push any agendas this week on the podcast?
No, we're still looking to sell out corporate, so reach out. Lats underscore 1986 on Instagram. I'll hook you up. Let's go.
Okay, very good. Did everybody give me an answer then on who's going to win? Dragons, Dolphins?
No.
Did you, Louis? No?
But you know what? I'm going to go Dragons to win. They don't know. Did they have a bye last night?
Yeah, they had a bye.
Yes,
I'm going to go Dragons to win, purely because it is Flanno's 200th game as a coach. And I just think Zach Lomax and Benny Hunt, I think they're full of confidence, and I like the way they're tracking at the moment. So I'll go for them to win.
Dolphins obviously went down by only 6 against the Storm. Does that change your mind, Toby, on who you pick?
I'm going to go the Dolphins because I used to play for them as well. But Trey Fuller was actually my fullback when I won the Q Cup and Duncan Hall medal in 2018.
Was he there back then?
He was there back then, yes.
How old was he
he's a
then?
Junior. He was 18 years old.
Wow, he goes good, man.
He's a weapon. So I want to go for the Dolphins and my boy Trey.
Nice.
Very good. Panthers take on the Cowboys. This will be interesting because it's a team that Jimmy used to play for against the team he's now coaching. So it's either his heart or his wallet. That's what we're finding out here. We'll finish with you, Jimmy. Shall we, Toby? Panthers or Cowboys?
Yeah, look, I just can't see how the Panthers can lose this game with the coaching quality they have up in Townsville. I'm not entirely sure. They sort of go against the plan every week, and why wouldn't you with Jimmy Maloney as the coach? So Panthers by 40.
Yes, let's go. Yeah, no, I think back out at Bluebet Stadium, mate, the back end of the year, I'm really looking forward to Penrith to come home with a wet sail. I think they'll be too good.
Where's it played at?
Yeah, Bluebet.
The Cowboys, I don't mind the Cowboys turn. It just depends on which team turns up. some no
Maloney
disrespect there, Jimmy, but some weeks they can turn up and play brilliant. They've got a great side. They can score points. Sometimes they don't turn up and they don't execute what they're really good at, and they don't travel too well. So I may go on purely the Panthers on that because of that, and I never tip against Penrith.
Jimmy, is there a reason why you guys, well, all the things that Louis just said, why you don't travel well, why two different teams show up? You got anything for us? Any mail?
Nah, mate, I thought our travel record this year's been pretty good, but I don't know. Louis might have better stats than me.
What is the travel record? Do you know what? That's right. Can you hit us?
I don't know the actual stats, but
No, I want Jimmy to. You're the coach. You should know. So, what do you got for us?
Why should I know that? Why is that a stat that I should know?
Well, you just said that apparently it's good this year, so I would assume that you would know what it would be. Is that?
I think it is.
enough?
Yeah, I think it is. Anyway,
Juddy, is it next year?
last away trip, we missed all our Origin stars and we went down and beat the Roosters, who are a pretty handy side. So,
yeah, you had
look,
all the Origin players too.
I'd love to back Penrith because I used to play with them, but unfortunately I'm with the Cowboys now, so I'm going for the Cowboys.
Unfortunately. That's a great rap on your employer. Nice.
Finally, and let's talk about this. The Roosters take on the Tigers. The Tigers, 2 wins in a row. They're off the bottom of the table. No one saw this one coming last week when they thumped Canberra. As I said, obviously, Toby saw it, and Toby inspired. Have you heard this story, Louis, that Toby inspired the Tigers? So Sharks played against the Tigers beat them. Then Toby walked around to all the Tigers players and gave them some advice, and he said, you should do this every week. And so...
Just on that,
Yeah.
Freddie was right on the team who played the best on the night they won.
Nailed it.
He did. So last week we were talking about a quote from Freddie on Freddie in the 8th where he said, the team that gets it right wins and the team that gets it wrong loses.
Yeah.
And he was bang on last night.
Inside.
Him and
were all-
Toby are starting up a new show.
Called obviously.
So Roosters Tigers. I mean, 3 weeks ago we would have said Roosters in a canter, but I guess that's different now. Jimmy,
You play for
Roosters
the
or
Roosters.
Tigers?
You play for the Roosters.
I used to play for the Roosters, so take a guess.
Cool. Great podcast. Great content.
Mate, I'm going Tigers in upset.
Roosters.
Tigers in an upset?
Nah,
Can I take that bet,
fuck that.
Latsy?
Nah, oh no way. Roosters will come out and absolutely dominate. They're looking really good now. Their last 2 or 3 games have been red hot since Maloney beat them on the Origin players.
All right.
They're building good, Roosters. I like the way they're playing, I like the way they're building. Their forward pack is brilliant. Kind of watched them get a lot of confidence out of the weekend as well, which is huge. I also like the Tigers at the moment, what they're doing. They've got a lot out. They're bringing a lot of young kids in, but they've got a lot of learning still to do.
Yeah.
I love Lockie Galvin. I think he's brilliant. Dream Bull at fullback. Again, they're 2 back rollers. I think Porter's been going really, really well. Flanno on the other side has been going outstanding, but we're talking about a different class here with the Roosters. So Roosters.
There you go. That's it. That's the round 17. Good luck, Toby, to you. The next segment we like to do here on the show. Yes, Latsy?
I just had a question for Louis, and
Yeah.
then also I told you I was on a podcast earlier, so I want to circle back to you. But
Yeah, sure.
I remember when you were telling the story about your first job, and you turned up as a greenkeeper.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Where's that come from?
You told me.
Yeah, but how'd you go with that?
I wrote it down.
He's wondering how you went from round 17 to
Yeah,
tell
we
us
were about to
being a
jump into
greenkeeper.
Jimmy and Jerry, so it's now stories on all the people on the panel.
Okay,
fair enough.
brand new segment called Stories on All the People on the Panel.
Bro, I'm always coming up with new shows, man. This is hectic.
So you were
Yeah, no, I remember when I was a young kid, I just obviously signed a contract with Penrith, but that was to train and then also do an apprenticeship. And the apprenticeship they got me was a greenkeeper's apprenticeship. Anyway, so I rock up to this 9-hole golf course with a driving range. Anyway, I get there and they go around, they introduce me to everyone. Oh yeah, really nice people. Anyway, so I'm about to start the thing. I walk down to the bottom, they're sort of showing me everything. And they pull out this push lawnmower and a petrol jerry can. And they go, yeah, just go out and mow the first fairway. I look at the fairway, like 350-metre fairway. So I grabbed my keys, jumped in the car and went home. And then I ran Pete on my hole at the time. He looked after me. He was brilliant. And I said, Pete, I'm not fucking made for this job, mate. I'm going home. He goes, don't go home, don't go. So I ended up going back to Penrith and I just answered phones for a couple of hours until the footy started. So that was basically the story.
Love that, eh? Nah, fucking, I love that. I pissed myself.
Very, very good. Now, yes, Latsy?
What do you got, Maloney?
What do you got, Jimmy?
Never worked a day in his life, old Luke Lewis.
Oh, Rich.
Good.
Rich, coming from you over there, Dory. But if you want to know why his name's Dory, it is because, mate, everything he did, he just forgets 3 seconds, which is probably one of the best traits you can have in rugby league because you can't dwell on what you just did. Mate, this guy, mate, he would come up with some crackers, some horrible, again, drops, and he just moved on. I loved it. So that's how he got his nickname, Dory.
That's a good one. I like it. So let's do this now. So Life and Times of Jerry and Jimmy. So normally the two boys will tell stories about, well, we've only done it once before and it was about a car. It was very good. But why don't we bring you in? Now, the story that you teased earlier was when you guys were getting trained by Flanno. Do you want to expand on that story and tell the whole thing?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember exactly who we're playing. That's the only problem. But for some reason, Flanno decided we're going to change the game plan. We're winning. I think we won 8 or 9, maybe 10 games in a row. Our game plan's working, and we're all starting to really execute our game plan. This is the year we won the comp. And then Flanno goes, I want to change the game plan up. I want to, we'll do a move set coming out of yardage, and then when we get into transition, we're going to do, we're going to hit black, and we're going to hit this point, come back here. Anyway, so we started doing it during the week. We just kept dropping the ball, and we're horrible at it. Anyway, so Flanno walks off the field, and he stands over there, and Jimmy goes, boys, come in. He goes, all right, what we're going to do is we're just going to listen to what Flanno says here. But when we fucking take the field on Saturday, we ain't doing shit. We're going back to what our original game plan was, and that's what we're doing. And we're going to stick to that game plan. And then when Flanno asked us, just say we forgot what it was. That was basically the message. I'll never forget it. I was thinking, okay, well, we're all on board. We had a great leadership group, and we all backed him. So that was a pretty funny story. But I know we always take the piss out of Jimmy. I'll give you a wrap here. 2016 grand final, everything was going great. And then obviously Melbourne slowly got in front. They got in front there for a bit. And then he jumps up and he doesn't speak very often really because you had a couple of guys in there would always step up and chat. And he goes, boys, everyone just stopped and listened. He goes, boys, I told you that everything's not going to go our way tonight. Something's going to go against us and we need to, he goes, give me 5 good defensive sets and I fucking promise you we'll win this game. And then we went upfield, we kicked off, got the defensive sets right and he come up with some pearls of kicks and then Mickey Ennis comes up that short ball, ends the feet over and we win the game. So
that
mate,
was at half-time.
you were a great leader, mate. Love you. So I'll never forget that little speech behind the line, brother.
Thanks, mate.
So was that behind the line?
Yeah, that was after, I think Will Chambers might have just scored. They just went in front. Yeah, so.
Jimmy Maloney.
Jimmy Maloney.
Also, mate, when I was there 2017, so that was when I first played with Louis and Jimmy. We were, where were we? We were sitting about 4th or 5th in the top 8 and we're getting close to September and Jimmy was just cruising around the gym, not training again. And he goes, don't worry, boys. He goes, Mr. September's here. I've got us. We went out first week.
Against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Who were on their Mad Monday. They got called in late because someone lost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Very good. There you go. That was the life and times of Jerry and Jimmy. Have you got any questions, Toby? Anything you want to add to?
Yeah, have you got anything where like what he said didn't happen and it all sort of fell to shit? Any memories?
Now, can you tell the floor is lava in the gym room?
Yeah.
There's a heap of stories with him, but the floor is lava. Look, one thing I loved about him is that he just wanted to play. He was just a footballer. He just played football. He didn't give 2 shits about weights, which is he'll probably agree with it. But mate, he used to do a heap of fucking funny shit in the video room in the gym. Yeah, but there was one there where he used to goes, Louis, you reckon I could climb around this whole gym without touching the floor? I look around the whole gym. It's fucking pretty big. There's a lot of gaps there. Thinking probably not. So anyway, we're all doing weights and Andrew's come in and say, mate, we need to lift heavy today. We need to put some petrol in the tank. So Jimmy goes, yep. So he would just start over on this like little brick platform and then he'd put a couple of things on the floor and he goes, okay, I'm going to get around this whole gym. So we're all lifting heavy, going nuts, right? Got the music pumping and he's jumping from like a bouncy ball over onto like a back pull machine, walking along the dumbbell press. Then he gets like, the chin-up bar and he's climbing along the chin-up bar. And then like he's swinging, he'll jump to the other one. And we're all looking around going, what the heck is this bloke doing? He got around the whole gym without touching the floor. So while we were all doing weights, the boys never said anything, but they knew what he was going to toss up on the weekend. But there was other ones like, I remember, I think we had a shocking week and Flanno was a bit angry, which you get angry every now and then. But he stole the remote control for the radio. And Andrew Gray's up there, he goes over, turns it off, and the music was pumping. And he goes over, turns the thing off, so he goes, look at this. So I knew he had it, right? So he turns the radio back on and just slowly increases the music as Andrew's getting more into his conversation. By the time Andrew's writing, he's like, fuck, right, this music's going nuts, right? He goes, walks over, gets super angry, starts back again, turns it on again. It just kept going for 5-6 minutes. It was freaking brilliant, but everyone knew it was happening. Andrew Moore could never find who was doing it. But there was one guess, it was James Maloney. So, mate, he used to keep it real lighthearted. You know, Flanno used to come into video rooms and, you know, blow up, and then he'd just open a packet of chips and like shit like that. It was awesome.
Enough Jimmy stories. Toby, have you got any on Louis?
Any stories?
Yeah. Did you play together?
No, we didn't.
I come across in 19, you retired in 18, is that right?
Yes, correct.
After 18, so.
Any nights without me at your house or anything recently? Hanging out without me?
Well, no.
Yeah, we had a good little night out.
We did,
hours.
yeah.
I don't know what we talked about for 6 hours, but
Something, but was without you for a reason. We don't want to be a part of it, so.
Good off that.
Yeah, give me a call, mate. I'll brush it soon.
Is Louis still doing his magic tricks?
He did one today.
He got us today.
Yeah,
he got
us
me today. Do you know? So he asked for me. I was ordering the coffees. I was already up at the cafe. He said, order a super hot, super hot. What was it, a latte or a flat white?
I get flat whites.
So then he put the spoon in, and without us seeing, he bent the spoon.
I didn't do that.
And then said that it had melted his spoon. I fucking bought it. I was like, oh, take a photo. I've never seen anything like it.
Took a photo.
I did. I sent it to my wife. I said, it's super hot, honey.
Look,
And I'm coming in hot,
that
baby.
was what it was like origin camps with Louis. It was like being with a 3-year-old toddler. He just had the biggest kiddie brain. He was about fucking 42 and he acted 3 years old, and he used to love his magic tricks. He just had all these magic tricks that he used to just think were the best.
Coming from the guy
Have you
who's
got
just
one?
jumping around the gym. Yeah, I know.
The laugh.
Hot on the kettle black.
Is there one you could do quickly for our viewers now that I can describe for our listeners?
No, I
Have
don't
you
really have any.
Have you got?
Latsy thinks that's the best magic drink.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's amazed by that. So we're about to get into Would You Rather. Was there one we could broadcast?
Yeah, you know, it was
Jerry?
one with a,
The goat one.
yeah.
The goat one's sweet. Kinda.
I've got one that can broadcast. This
All right,
time.
let's start with yours, Jimmy. Let's go.
Righto. Would you rather suck on the big toe of a homeless man that hasn't showered for a month for 30 seconds, or lick a toilet bowl for 5 seconds?
Where's
Where's the toilet bowl? At my house?
Just a toilet bowl. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter where it is.
Toilet
It's a
bowl.
toilet
Toilet
bowl.
bowl. I just go to
Harvey Norman's, I'll try and get you a sponsor. But I'd go to Harvey Norman's, get a clean bowl and lick it for 5 seconds.
I'm going toe.
Nah, it can't be clean, mate. It's got to be.
Well, you didn't
gotta be
stipulate
used,
that
mate.
in the when you said it.
It's only urine.
Wait,
Wait, which is the bowl? Is that the rim?
the bowl,
The bowl's
the
the bit at the
toilet
bottom.
bowl is like the toilet,
Down
the
in the
water's
bowl.
there and it's the stuff and the skirting around.
Oh,
it.
yeah. Nah, 6 again. I'll go the bowl.
The bowl. I'm going to go the toe.
Yeah, I was going, but I find that weird that he goes
I've
the
got
bowl.
a bit.
But
yeah,
I love, and I
bowl's
love,
weird.
He
like
loves
girl.
feet. He's a feet.
Oh,
man.
you're a
Yeah,
feet
I love
guy.
girls' toes, man.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
my
mind
thing.
feet.
Maybe we get to the sauna and he'll be tipping me and go this. He goes, look at her toes. What?
Yeah, that's a bit much.
He goes, look at her toes. Like, are you cracking them?
Is it white toenails? Is that doing for
Oh,
you?
no, I love her toes.
Oh,
Great
Up now,
pedicure,
so-
Manny. Oh.
That's very creepy.
Yeah.
Which Jimmy are you going to? We need to warn people. Can you?
Body fit. Miranda.
So everybody said lick the bowl except for
I'll go
toes?
toe as well, yeah.
Okay. Very good. We can broadcast that, would you rather? Jimmy, this is a big day for us. It's a big day.
Hey, what did you say though, Jimmy? What would you do?
I'll go the toe. I'm not licking a toilet bowl. No fucking way.
Yeah, I think I'm with him. All right, that was Would You Rather. Have you got the goat one?
No, we'll save that for next
We'll
week.
say that next
Yeah.
week. All right. Hey, that was the show, Journeymen. You can find us, Journeymen_footy everywhere. That's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know if we're on X. Have a look. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you can. Tell your friends, tell your family, and keep the dream alive, as we like to say. Big thanks to you, Louis, for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Great to
You were
be.
very good. If we could lock you in for the next, say, 17 weeks every week, that'd be great. Just have a look at your schedule. That'd be fantastic. Jimmy, thanks for getting to the studio and
Giving you
On time.
hectic tips too.
yeah, and all your insight. Very good of you. Latsy, good luck with your exercise, I guess, during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Getting after it, bro.
Tapes. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll all be watching.
Thank you very much.
Give it to those doggies.
I'll do my best.
Very good.
Hope you lose, Tabes. Good on you, mate.
Hope you lose, mate.
Nice, thanks, Jimmy.
Very good.
Positive place. Positive place. Love it.
LFG.
See you, Gruber.
Nice.
See you, mate.
Thanks so much for watching another episode of The Journeymen. Thanks for joining us again. Please click this button here if you like us and want to see more content. And please click this button here if you want to subscribe and like what we do.